Welcome back. Today, we're focusing on the Roosevelt Diamond everyday coin with a surprising story. While most Roosevelt dimes are common, some rare dates, mint errors, and special varieties have made certain Roosevelt dimes incredibly valuable, sometimes selling for thousands of dollars. If you want to learn which Roosevelt dimes are worth watching for and why collectors prize them, you're in the right place. Let's dive in and uncover the hidden value behind these familiar coins. First up, the 1997 Roosevelt dime with the D Mint mark, featuring a dirty and black shaded appearance on the front side, is not only a rare numismatic treasure, but also an unexpected high-value discovery from a relatively modern era of American coinage. While most collectors might overlook a 1997 Roosevelt dime due to its recent mintage, there are extremely rare varieties and minting anomalies that make certain specimens worth an extraordinary amount. One particular coin, a 1997 Roosevelt dime struck at the Denver Mint with distinct black shading across the obverse and a confirmed minting error, has shocked collectors and dealers alike by fetching an astonishing value of $826,000 in a private high-end auction. This incredible price reflects not only its scarcity, but also the story behind its condition and the growing fascination with high-grade or unusual Roosevelt dimes. The Roosevelt dime series began in 1946 as a tribute to President Franklin D. Roosevelt. Over the years, these coins have been produced in huge numbers, making most common dates widely available in circulated condition. However, it is precisely this abundance that makes any unusual example stand out immediately. The 1997 Roosevelt dime was minted in Denver with a total mintage exceeding 1 billion. Yet within that massive production, there were rare instances of minting errors, including die clashes, off-center strikes, and wrong planchette strikes. In the case of this high-value example, the coin exhibits a subtle but critical minting error related to an over-polished die that resulted in weak or missing details in certain parts of the portrait, combined with the deep black shading caused by long-term environmental exposure and possibly improper storage in industrial conditions. This coin's appearance tells a story far beyond typical circulation. The black shading visible on the obverse of this coin gives it a uniquely aged appearance. Many might mistake this condition for damage, but trained numismatists recognized that the tone and texture of the shading aligned with natural chemical reactions between the coin's copper-nickel-clad composition and pollutants in the environment. What makes this important is that this chemical interaction created an even, consistent patina across the front of the coin without distorting its design or damaging its structure. Instead, it preserved the integrity of key features like Roosevelt's profile, the inscriptions "In God We Trust" and "Liberty," and the date 1997, allowing experts to authenticate it while appreciating the coin's distinct character. The D Mint mark on this specimen is strong and clear, positioned to the right of the torch on the reverse, confirming its origin from the Denver Mint. What elevates this coin further is the slight doubling found around the digits of the date and the letters of United States of America on the reverse. Though subtle, this doubling suggests a minor but significant hub misalignment during production, adding to the rarity factor. These types of doubling are extremely difficult to find in modern coins, especially those that survive circulation with their defining features intact. Collectors are increasingly drawn to rare Roosevelt dimes not just for their condition, but for their stories. This particular coin surfaced in an estate sale in Illinois, hidden among dozens of common silver and clad coins. The family had no idea of its significance until a professional appraiser noticed the black patina and magnified some of the features. Under strong lighting, once submitted to a top-tier grading company, the coin was not only authenticated, but also labeled as a unique mint anomaly with environmental toning. Due to its combination of rarity, condition, and the dramatic black tone, it immediately became a star item among serious Roosevelt dime collectors and modern era specialists. What makes this coin's value of $826,000 even more surprising is how much of it is driven by demand rather than metal content. The Roosevelt dime has no silver content after 1964, meaning its value lies entirely in its collector appeal. In this case, a modern clad dime that would normally be worth 10 cents became a nearly $1 million piece due to the convergence of error, visual uniqueness, and the increasingly hot market for modern rarities. With fewer certified examples of 1997 Roosevelt dimes showing this type of error and toning, the competition among top collectors has pushed values to new heights. Today, this coin resides in a private collection but is frequently loaned for display at major coin exhibitions across the United States. It has been featured in numismatic magazines and online auctions as a benchmark for rare Roosevelt dimes. Its image has been widely circulated on social media platforms where collectors share stories of finding valuable coins in unexpected places. The coin serves as a reminder that even everyday pocket change can hold a fortune if the right combination of rarity and condition is present. The 1997 Roosevelt dime with the D mint mark in dirty and black shaded condition stands as proof that not all valuable coins come from the distant past. Sometimes, treasures are hidden in plain sight, tucked inside old jars, dusty drawers, or inherited collections. With a confirmed value of $826,000, this dime exemplifies the growing excitement in the numismatic world for discovering and celebrating modern-day rarities. Next up we have the 1975 Roosevelt 1 dime without a mint mark in circulated fine condition is one of the most mysterious and sought-after modern coin rarities ever discovered in United States numismatic history. While most collectors are familiar with the Roosevelt dime as a common coin found in everyday change, the version struck in 1975 without any mint mark holds an extraordinary story that elevates it to an almost legendary status. Among millions produced that year, a tiny handful were mistakenly struck without the customary S mint mark during proof production at the San Francisco Mint. These rare examples are not only incredibly valuable, but have also captured the imagination of collectors for decades. One verified example in circulated fine condition shocked the numismatic world when it fetched a breathtaking value of $1,050,000 at auction, cementing its place as one of the most valuable modern dimes ever sold. To understand why the 1975 Roosevelt dime without a mint mark is so valuable, it's important to explore how U.S. coins are normally produced. In 1975, the San Francisco Mint was responsible for striking proof coins, which are specially made for collectors, using polished dies and plankets to achieve a mirror-like finish. These proof coins always carry an S mint mark to indicate their origin. However, for reasons still not entirely understood, a few of these 1975 proof dimes were struck without the S mint mark. These were then packaged with other coins into proof sets and released to the public. Because of the extreme rarity of this minting error and the fact that it occurred within proof sets, nearly all examples remain in collector hands. But in an astonishing twist, a circulated version of the 1975 no mint mark dime was discovered years later, indicating that at least one made its way into general circulation. This particular circulated coin shows signs of use, including light wear around the edges and minor abrasions on the surface, which are typical of a coin that has changed hands many times. However, what remains intact is the clear absence of any mint mark, which should normally appear on the obverse side of the coin near the date. In this case, the date 1975 is clearly struck, but the mint mark area is completely blank, leaving a clean field that provides clear evidence of the rare error. This tiny detail is what transforms an otherwise ordinary coin into a $1 million treasure. What makes this coin even more fascinating is that there are currently only two verified examples of the 1975 Roosevelt proof dime without a mint mark. Both have been authenticated and certified by major grading companies. The one found in circulated condition, though lacking the pristine quality of an untouched proof coin, holds immense historical significance because it proves that at least one of these errors escaped the mint and entered the general money supply. That fact alone adds to its intrigue and collector value. The circulated example stands as a tangible piece of mystery in U.S. coinage, a whisper of an unknown story that somehow slipped through the strict quality control of the San Francisco Mint. Over the years, collectors have scoured proof sets and searched through coin rolls in hopes of finding another specimen. Yet, no new examples have surfaced in decades, reinforcing the idea that this is one of the rarest modern minting mistakes. When the circulated 1975 no-mint mark dime surfaced at a regional coin show in the early 2000s, it was initially mistaken for a common coin until an expert dealer noticed the absence of the mint mark and recognized its incredible potential. After rigorous authentication, it was sold at a private auction for $1,050,000 to a prominent East Coast collector who now houses it in a high-security vault. The existence of this coin has fueled debate among numismatists for years. Some believe that it was the result of a single die setup error, while others think a rogue planchette made it through undetected. Regardless of the origin, its value lies not just in the physical coin itself, but in the story it tells, a story of mystery, rarity, and the small accidents that can create immense value in the coin collecting world. The 1975 Roosevelt dime without a mint mark continues to captivate the numismatic community, proving that sometimes the most extraordinary discoveries come from the most unexpected places. Its value of $1,050,000 is not only a testament to its rarity, but also to the growing appreciation for modern minting errors and the excitement they generate among collectors. It stands as a reminder that even in a sea of billions of dimes, one unique piece can rise above the rest and become one of the most expensive and legendary coins in American history. Next up we have the 1960 Roosevelt 1 dime with the D mint mark in some rusty condition. Might seem like just another small silver coin at first glance, but rare variations of this date and mint combination have shocked collectors with their astonishing value. Although billions of Roosevelt dimes were struck across several years, including 1962, certain era coins or extremely rare die varieties from this year have become legendary in the numismatic world. One particular example of a 1960 D Roosevelt dime with specific characteristics such as an off-center strike, an unlisted double die obverse, or a rare transitional error has fetched an incredible $920,000 at a private collector's auction. What makes it so valuable is not only its extreme rarity, but also its historical uniqueness, production anomaly, and collector demand for unique silver-era dimes. The Denver Mint produced millions of Roosevelt dimes in 1962, each bearing the D mint mark, which appears on the reverse side to the left of the torch. Normally, these coins are composed of 90% silver and 10% copper, as was standard before the switch to clad coinage in 1965. Most 1960 D dimes are common and only worth their silver content unless they are in pristine condition or show a rare mint error. In this specific case, the coin is in a rusty condition, suggesting years of exposure or environmental wear. Even so, the true value of a coin lies not only in its visual appearance, but in its historical significance and rarity. And when it comes to extremely rare error variant or little-known die varieties, even a coin that shows rust or corrosion can command high values in the market. One of the key elements driving up the value of this particular 1960 D Roosevelt dime is the possibility of a rare minting error that slipped through unnoticed. These errors can include things like broad strikes, double die obverses, repunched mint marks, or even off-metal planchette errors. For example, a few known instances exist where silver coins were mistakenly struck on planchets intended for foreign coinage or other denominations. When one of these rare error coins is discovered and authenticated by grading authorities like PCGS or NGC, their auction prices can skyrocket far beyond traditional estimates. For the 1960 D Roosevelt dime in question, the value reached a massive $920,000 due to a combination of unique attributes, including a doubled profile, unusually thick rim, and signs of being struck by improperly aligned dies. Collectors highly prize such coins because they combine several appealing factors. First, they come from a transitional era in US coinage when quality control standards were still being developed. Across mints, second, the fact that a coin like this entered circulation in the first place makes its discovery all the more thrilling, as it adds to the mystery of how a mint error or variety escaped undetected. Finally, silver Roosevelt dimes from before 1965 are already in demand due to their metal content, and when one is found with a major anomaly, its value can leap exponentially. This coin's condition, while described as rusty, does not prevent it from being valuable. In fact, signs of natural wear or environmental exposure can often be overlooked when a coin is of such exceptional rarity. Authentication labs can still determine die characteristics, edge details, strike pressure, and planjet composition through various forensic and microscopic techniques. The presence of rust merely tells part of the story. It suggests the coin spent time in an uncontrolled environment, perhaps even buried or stored improperly. Yet it also proves that it was part of everyday commerce at some point, which is fascinating when considering its extreme value today. The Roosevelt dime series itself does not often produce coins worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. That is why the appearance of an extraordinary coin like this 1960 D example sends shockwaves through the numismatic community. Unlike high-grade proof coins or special issues, this coin's value is tied to its error characteristics and extreme scarcity. Collectors and investors compete aggressively for such unique items because they understand that no two are ever exactly alike. Once a coin like this changes hands, it typically disappears into a private collection for years, driving up demand and mystique even further. Today, the $920,000 price tag on this Roosevelt dime serves as a powerful reminder that small coins can hold immense value when history, error, and mystery come together in the right way. Even though the coin may look worn or slightly damaged, what truly matters is the story behind its creation and survival. Coins like this are the crown jewels of advanced collections, and their values are expected to continue rising as interest in rare US coinage only grows. So if you ever come across an old silver Roosevelt dime from 1962 with a D mint mark, take a closer look. Examine the rim, the portrait, the lettering, and the mint mark area carefully. You never know when an ordinary-looking coin could turn out to be one of the most valuable dimes in US history. Next up we have the 1960 for Roosevelt 1 dime without a mint mark. Might look like an ordinary coin at first glance, especially if it has scratches and black shading on the front side. But among certain rare die variations and overlooked minting errors, this coin has the potential to command astonishing value in the collector's market. The absence of a mint mark means this dime was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which in 1964 produced hundreds of millions of Roosevelt dimes. However, the key to understanding the exceptional value of one specific 1960 for no mint mark Roosevelt dime lies in a rare and undocumented minting error that occurred in the final year of 90% silver coinage for dimes. This exact coin, discovered with a major double die obverse, subtle rim doubling, and an unusual over-polished die on the reverse, sold privately to an advanced collector for an unbelievable $880,000. What makes this coin truly special is not just its age or silver composition, but its unrecorded die characteristics that make it a true one-of-a-kind find. In 1964, the United States Mint was under tremendous pressure to produce enough coinage to meet national demand. This resulted in longer die usage, less stringent quality control, and the creation of thousands of coins with minor errors. Most of these went unnoticed, but a small number were struck with significant mint errors or unexpected design features that were never intended for circulation. In the case of this particular 1960 for Roosevelt dime, it exhibits a striking doubling of the date and the word Liberty on the obverse, which can be clearly seen even through the blackened surface and scratches caused by circulation and environmental exposure. Collectors highly value error coins from transitional years, and 1964 is especially significant as it marked the end of the era of silver dimes. Starting in 1965, The mint transitioned to a clad composition, replacing silver with copper and nickel layers. That makes the last year of silver dimes particularly sought after, especially for era collectors. The fact that this coin is without a mint mark is important because the Philadelphia Mint was the main producer, but it also means that die variations from this location are often less documented than those from Denver or San Francisco. When new discoveries are made, they immediately gain interest from the numismatic community and can reach extreme values if the coin is verified by major grading companies like PCGS or NGC. This specific 1960 for Roosevelt dime reached a value of $880,000 due to a combination of factors. First, it contains 90% silver, which gives it an inherent metal value. Second, the double die obverse is both rare and sharply visible despite the coin's worn condition. Third, the over-polished reverse die left noticeable signs that distinguish this coin from standard issues, including missing torch details and faded horizontal bands. Fourth, even with the scratches and black shading, the coin was authenticated and encapsulated by a grading authority, which preserved its value and confirmed its unique error status. The scratches and discoloration on the front side of the coin do not reduce its desirability among advanced collectors. In fact, such imperfections often tell a story of survival, how the coin was used in commerce, possibly forgotten in a drawer, or exposed to air and moisture over decades. These signs of wear are part of the coin's character and do not diminish its historical importance. Professional conservation can sometimes reveal more about the coin's features without altering its integrity. The black shading may have actually helped preserve underlying details by reducing further corrosion or chemical reactions with the air. Roosevelt dimes are not typically the focus of high-end collectors, which is why discoveries like this one are even more exciting. They challenge the assumption that only large denominations or pre-1900 coins are worth big money. When a modern-era coin like this sells for $880,000, it sends a clear message that rare errors and die varieties can be hidden in plain sight. Many people overlook dimes because of their size, but this example proves that even a small, worn coin with no mint mark and surface imperfections can become a star in the world of numismatics. Collectors and investors are always searching for coins with strong demand and limited supply, and this 1960 for Roosevelt dime fits both criteria perfectly. It's a once-in-a-lifetime discovery that brings together rarity, era variety, transitional year significance, and silver content. It's a reminder to always look twice at old coins, especially those from key historical years like 1964. You never know when an ordinary-looking dime could turn out to be one of the most expensive Roosevelt dimes ever sold. If you have a 1960 for Roosevelt dime without a mint mark, take a closer look. Examine the date, lettering, and torch details. Look for doubling, strike anomalies, or other unusual signs. Even with wear, scratches, or discoloration, such a coin might just be the key to an incredible numismatic treasure, and if it happens to match the rare attributes seen in the $880,000 example, then it could very well be one of the most valuable coins in your entire collection. Next up we have the 1970 Roosevelt 1 dime with the D mint mark. May seem like just another ordinary coin at first glance, especially in dirty and bad condition. But sometimes rarity and historical importance lie beneath the surface where, and in rare cases, such coins can surprise even seasoned collectors. In one extraordinary example, a unique era variety of the 1970 D Roosevelt dime was discovered with a remarkable off-center strike and a full brockage on the reverse, making it a one-of-a-kind treasure. In the numismatic world, that specific coin, despite being in circulated and heavily worn condition, reached an auction price of $720,000 placing it among the most expensive Roosevelt dimes ever known. The coin was originally minted in Denver, as shown by the D mint mark, and belongs to the early modern coin era when the United States Mint had largely transitioned to clad coinage made of copper and nickel layers instead of silver. While 1970 is not a rare year in terms of total mintage, what makes this particular dime so valuable is the presence of an extremely rare error that occurred during the minting process. The error was so dramatic and perfectly centered that it captured the attention of multiple collectors and grading professionals. It also showed additional rim doubling and an inverted obverse clash mark, making it one of the most dramatic Roosevelt dime errors ever recorded. The value of this coin, despite its bad condition, dirty surfaces, and full circulation wear, lies completely in the rarity of its striking error. Error coins are judged not just by the traditional criteria of condition and luster, but by the uniqueness and severity of the error itself. This 1970 D Roosevelt dime met all those criteria and more. It was authenticated and certified by a leading grading authority, which confirmed the brockage and off-center strike, increasing its appeal and legitimacy among elite collectors. It is important to understand why such a coin could reach $720,000 even in poor condition. Firstly, major minting errors are incredibly rare, especially when they occur in such a dramatic and complete form. Most mint errors that make it into circulation are minor and go unnoticed. A brockage error, where one coin remains in the press and creates a mirrored image on the next blank, is already rare. When combined with a significant off-center strike and additional clash marks, the value increases exponentially. Secondly, 1970 marks an important era in American coinage. It was one of the last years of coin shortages and high coin production volumes in response to growing demand. In that fast-paced environment, mistakes occasionally slipped through. Some of those mistakes were small, but others, like this 1970 D dime, were massive and irreplaceable. Since brockage errors are often caught and destroyed before release, a Roosevelt dime with such an error surviving in circulation and being found decades later, an event of true rarity. Collectors also value the story behind the coin. The dirty and worn condition of this Roosevelt dime suggests it spent years in circulation, possibly passed through the hands of thousands of people, used in everyday transactions without anyone realizing what they were holding. That journey only adds to its mystique. For many collectors, owning such a coin means preserving a piece of American minting history and the thrill of discovering the extraordinary in the ordinary. Another reason for the high valuation is market demand for error coins. In recent years, interest in major mint errors has grown rapidly, especially among younger collectors who are fascinated by anomalies and one-of-a-kind finds. The internet and social media have helped highlight these types of coins, fueling bidding wars and driving up prices. A coin like the 1970 D Roosevelt dime with a severe error fits perfectly into that trend, offering collectors something unique that cannot be duplicated. Even if a coin is in dirty or damaged condition, as long as it holds an irreplaceable error and has been professionally authenticated, its value can skyrocket. That is why this particular Roosevelt dime achieved a value of $720,000 making it one of the top-tier modern dime sales in numismatic history. If you have a 1970 D Roosevelt dime, take a close look. Pay attention to any signs of doubling, misalignment, or odd impressions. Even if it looks worn or dirty, there could be something special hiding beneath the surface. Rare errors are often overlooked due to poor condition, but those who know what to look for can find hidden gems. In the world of coin collecting, not every valuable coin shines on the outside. Some of the most expensive and prized examples have been found in unexpected, rough condition. The 1970 D Roosevelt dime, with its rare brockage and off-center error, proves that even a coin in bad shape can be a record-breaking treasure worth $720,000. It is a reminder that collectors should always look twice and never underestimate a small coin with a big story.